Lead quickness. You gotta be kidding me! Sowers all by himself!
Welcome to EMO Lacrosse, where we talk everything field lacrosse. Again, trying new formats as the season goes on, but we just got off of the official All-Star break, and now we're officially in the second half of the Premier Lacrosse League season. It's been fantastic. Lots of ups, lots of downs for many teams, but it's been fairly even. I know that there are 3 1-4 teams right now. In this video, we'll be going over the rankings, and then we'll do some quick picks and reason why I make those picks. Before we do go into those picks, I want to give people a little snapshot that the PLL posted of playoff chances. So you can see where teams are, and the 2 teams that are fighting to get in are the Atlas and the Chrome, and they actually play this weekend. It's a huge, monstrous game for both teams, but the Whip Snakes, the Atlas, and the Chrome all fighting for that Brennan O'Neill spot in the next draft. Brennan O'Neill, if you don't know, he's the outstanding player from Duke who will likely be the #1 pick, and I'll do a video on that later. So here are my rankings just for this coming off the All-Star break. My rankings are not really different from the current standings on the PLL website that they've released. Archers, Water Dogs, Cannons, Chaos, Redwoods, Whip Snakes, Atlas, and the Chrome, of course. There, however, could be, if you're power ranking it, which is a lot of opinionated things going into these variables, you could put the Chaos above the Cannons. I would understand that. And then with the Whip Snakes injuries, you could easily move them down because they haven't been playing fairly well. And, well, they've gotten a lot of injuries that are horrible for them. So this is my ranking. Let me know what you think the rankings should be if you have any differing opinions. Maybe you think the Water Dogs should be in front of the Archers. I don't know. I'm going to pull up the schedule for the PLL this upcoming week. So we'll go in and preview. And by the way, the PLL website, absolutely incredible. The Atlas versus the Chrome. So this is a huge game for both teams. Both teams really must win this matchup as we pull up the stats. I'll go ahead and say that my gut feeling is the Chrome will not win this one. It's just the offense is so poor, and it's not been great. And you can see the fan breakdown of the picks. I just think that the Atlas have way too much firepower, even though their defense is horrendous. I'll tell you what, this will be a fun game, and I'll get into the Connor Farrell stuff in a minute, but this will be a fun game because both teams, I guess their strengths are playing against each other and their weakness. So this is a good matchup for both teams. The Atlas, their offense is fantastic, right? They've got a bunch of dudes. They're going up against the Chrome's defense, which is good. They have some good players. JT Giles Harris. They have some fantastic pulls. Sean Fredella could maybe play better at times, but then you got the Chrome offense, which has struggled, going up against the Atlas defense, which has struggled. So we don't get many opportunities like this in lacrosse, especially in this league, to watch games like this. So there are a lot of exciting games coming up this weekend, but this game I might be most excited about, honestly. And here's some previous matchup data. Connor Farrell, though, I did want to highlight him. He will not be suiting up. So the Chrome are going to go with the no face-off guy strategy and try to push Trevor Baptiste back. And that'll be interesting to see how they do that. What has been done against them, they will now do against the Atlas. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm going to go Atlas here. I trust their offense more than I trust the Chrome's offense. And also, I do think that they'll be able to get some shots past Scanoni and this defense. Cannons and Redwoods, 2 teams with identical records, but the difference between these 2 teams is one is trending up and one has been trending down. So I'll start with the Redwoods. I don't want to take away from the progress they have made because the offense is much better than it was last year. That doesn't mean, however, it is where it needs to be. Their lack of midfield production is a huge problem. And a lot of their production, it's like 99% of it, of course, that's an exaggeration, comes from Ryder Garnsey along the attack line. The difference between these two teams is that the Cannons are sharing the ball. And I saw a quote from their offense coordinator talking about how the Cannons offensive players from the middies to the attackmen, a lot of them coach in the offseason, and it feels like an offense where the coaches are part of the offense. They really understand the scheme, they really understand the game, and they're sharing the ball. Here's a cool stat line that I found just looking at the key matchup that the PLL pulls up on here. Ryder Garnsey and Asher Nolting, two star guys in the MVP conversation for the PLL. We've got a long season ahead. We're only halfway through. Ryder Garnsey, he's got 19 one-point goals, 22 points all around, 3 assists. When you look at Asher Nolting, 22 points, same amount of points, but he's got 11 assists. Not shooting at the same percentage, but it's kind of just a stat that shows you the feel of these teams. The Cannons are moving the ball at a much better rate than not only the Redwoods. Like, it's not just the Redwoods, it's most teams in the PLL. I think statistically they're number one in a lot of categories. So for me, I'm going with the Cannons here. And I do love the goalie switch to Kirst, who recently played in the All-Star game. I think that's going to help the Cannons defense as well, which struggled a little bit early on. I think that it's getting better, but this is a matchup that the Cannons would like. If the defense isn't necessarily their strength, if the offense is, well, the Redwoods have been struggling on offense. They're going to get some highlight goals and everything, but I think that this would be a tough one for the Redwoods to win. I'm going Cannons in this one, and I guess I disagree with the total fan breakdown. I do think that'll be a very exciting game and one that's super important, of course. And then next up, we have possibly the most important game of the weekend, Water Dogs and the Archers. So a couple storylines coming in to this matchup for the Water Dogs. Dylan Ward, star goalie, a goalie who I love, has been fantastic his whole entire career. He will not be playing in this game. He is on paternity leave. So, first of all, congratulations to Dylan Ward. But that's a huge loss for the Water Dogs. A fantastic goalie like that going up against an offense in the Archers that has just tons of shooters, tons of guys who can move the ball. But with the loss, they also get Connor Kelly. So, and a fantastic addition to the Water Dogs offense. And when you look at the statistics, it's like, wow, these two teams are pretty much even in most categories, except the glaring one, the face-off, because the Water Dogs, of course, kind of give up that face-off position and let teams win to push back. So I want to talk about that matchup in this game. I think the Archers are the team that is hardest to have that strategy for. And it's because of Sisselberger. And what I think it is because of his background in wrestling and his ability to be an offensive piece. So for this strategy to work for the Water Dogs and other teams that don't dress a face-off, the key is to push the guy with the ball back. So they're going to have to push the face-off man back into the defense to really take up time off of that shot clock. The problem is Sisselberger is muscular, he's fast, he's quick, and he can engage the offense. He can start it up either on a break or, and we've seen at times, he could score. So for those reasons, I don't really like this matchup for the Water Dogs. So I'm going to go Archers here. I think that the Archers will get the edge over the Water Dogs in what should be an incredible game, but I don't think that this face-off strategy is necessarily one that will work for the Water Dogs. And I think it plays into the favor of the Archers. Matt DeLuca also, he's a fine goalie. Loved watching him at Delaware. Brett Dobson's insane. Might be one of the best goalies in the league. Obviously not at the level of Blaze, but he's really young, playing lights out. I'm going Archers here, though. I still think that they will win this game. I'm excited to see it, of course. I'm probably most excited to see how the Archers go up against the Water Dogs in that strategy. And lastly, we have the Whip Snakes and the Chaos. So the Whip Snakes, unfortunately, are dealing with a lot of injuries. I saw on Twitter that Matt Rambo might be out for a considerable amount of time. You combine that with the Kyle Burnlore injury and a team that wasn't winning games in the first place. This can't be good. I think that the Chaos are starting to get their feet under them. They've had games, multiple games, where they haven't had their full teams because of the NLL championships and, of course, the World Championship break that we got. I think this is a good back on track game for the Chaos where they improved to 4-2. For the Whip Snakes, unfortunately, with these injuries that are mounting, I have to see the rosters will come out probably tomorrow. I'm recording this on Thursday, maybe Friday. Or yeah. So Friday. For me, it's just the Whip Snakes injuries. When you combine that with how they played this season, sitting at 1-4, to me, I think that the Chaos will win this one. Should be a fun game, undoubtedly, but it'll be tough for the Whip Snakes to overcome the injuries and the play that they've just had, not figuring out how to win games. So I got Chaos there. Let me know what you guys think, guys, down below. Thanks for watching EMO Lacrosse. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you love Field Lacrosse. Thanks for watching.